Hello and welcome to our video. Since you are here, you probably already know that Boosteroid is a cloud gaming service and just want to learn a bit more about using it. In this case, this video is for you. Here you'll find a detailed explanation on how to get the best out of Boosteroid for an optimal experience. But if you aren't yet familiar with this service, or want more information about how it actually performs, we've got a separate Boosteroid testing video which you can find in the description. And for those of you who are already sure they want to try out Boosteroid, keep watching. A quick disclaimer, we earn a small commission from our Boosteroid links, so we'll be very grateful if you use them in case you decide to try the service. Now to start with Boosteroid, first click the link in the description and go to its site to create an account, or just log in with Google. Then check your connection to the cloud servers. To start, click the connection test button. From my tests, even when using weak internet which gave me 2 bars in the connection test, the streaming quality was still passable. And if you get 3 or 4 bars, you're golden. Expect smooth streaming and barely noticeable latency. And here we come to the problem. This is the point you're supposed to buy a subscription, but you haven't even tried the service yet. At this point, there's very little I can do to help you decide if you want to pay for this. The only thing I can say is that there are a bunch of free games you can try once you get a subscription, which is of some value in itself. And as long as you have a controller or a Bluetooth mouse and keyboard, you can play across many types of devices with the same account, including TVs and phones. So if you decide to try the service, you first need a subscription. Go to your profile and click the subscribe button. Both subscription options give you the same streaming quality and features. The only difference is whether you pay for the whole year at once or for each month separately. Once you are subscribed, find the game in the search bar and launch it. Just remember, there are a lot of free games in the library, but you need to pay for others. You are getting the hardware you need to play with the subscription. The games themselves require a different license which you gain when you buy them and connect your Steam or Epic account to Boosteroid. After that, click OK, let's go, and after you log into the respective game store, the game will start automatically. In most cases. You see, Boosteroid has this quirk where sometimes it doesn't directly launch the game and instead opens a window of the game store from where you want to play it. For example, you have to manually start the game from your library, or the quick bar in the Epic Games launcher if you want to play it through Epic. But sometimes there's a bug where the game doesn't appear to be installed on the Boosteroid server, so you have to first find it in your library, click install, and then cancel the installation. This causes the launch or play button to show up. It's not a huge deal but can confuse new users, so bear this in mind when starting games in Boosteroid. This happens for Steam and other vendors as well, not just Epic. When you are in a gaming session, you can press Ctrl and F2 to release your cursor and open the in-game Boosteroid overlay, which lets you tinker with settings such as the maximum streaming FPS and bitrate. You can manually switch between 60 and 120 as your maximum frame rate, but note this too depends on your connection. For slower connections, I recommend staying at 60. Also remember that latency matters too. It basically shows how far you are from the closest Boosteroid server in milliseconds. You should aim for below 30 milliseconds latency for best experience, but I've played with 50 and still got decent gaming sessions, especially in single-player games. But what about streaming resolution? Boosteroid automatically detects your screen's native resolution and streams with it. The maximum streaming resolution is 4K, which you can access with either subscription plan. So if you are on a MacBook Pro with a 3K screen resolution, Boosteroid will give you that automatically, provided your internet can support it. For slower internet, the service dynamically lowers the streaming resolution to prioritize streaming smoothness. Something important to note is that once you are done playing a game, you should first quit it normally through the game menu before exiting Boosteroid. This is to ensure your progress is saved on the game distributor's servers. Boosteroid is currently the only cloud streaming service that supports the AV1 codec as a feature, which is incredibly useful because it uses up to 50% less bandwidth than older formats. This effectively lowers the internet speed requirements while streaming with Boosteroid through your browser, which means that even if you've got a weak connection, you'll still get a smooth stream and crisp image quality. Technically, you can have a super slow internet, like 15 megabits per second, and still get a smooth stream while playing at 1080p resolution and 120 frames per second. To use the AV1 codec feature, you need to be streaming games through your browser and not through the Boosteroid app, and you must ensure the feature is enabled in the Boosteroid settings on your account page. Do note, however, that benefiting from this feature requires a newer model GPU like the ones currently displayed on your screen. This limits the feature's usefulness, but it will become more relevant over time. For the time being, using the native macOS Boosteroid app is the superior option. Regardless of codecs, the app has better image quality with less bugs overall than the browser version. To get the app, go to your profile page after you subscribe and click on Applications to download it. Then just install the app, open it, log in, and you are ready to start playing. Lastly, I still recommend using Boosteroid with an Ethernet connection with at least 30 megabits per second to really get the best experience possible. But even if you are on Wi-Fi or your internet is slower, it's still a valid option for most games as long as you aren't looking for a competitive level gaming. So this takes us to the end of today's video. If you think Boosteroid is something down your alley, we'll be thankful if you use the link below to give it a try. And if you'd first prefer to check some other cloud gaming options, be sure to watch our video on GeForce Now, which should now be on your screen. Take care until next time.